Hello, YouTube. This is I, Mr. Zero of Mr. Zero's Tower Ride, who is feeling very itchy and sore thanks to the 4th of July and the pool. Actually, it wasn't the 4th, it was the 2nd. I let my daughter and a lot of her cousins come over, and I let them stay in the pool for like 2 hours, and I didn't wear sunscreen, so now I'm paying for it now. And this is the most I've been able to move in a week. I can boogaloo. Um, This is the most I've been on the computer in a while because of it. Because I can't sit on the leather chair when my back sticks to it. And since I can put a shirt on today, I figured I'd make a YouTube video. And one of the things I want to talk about is I was watching songs from my high school childhood, my high school years. And there were three that always stick out in my mind when I think of high school and music. Six Underground by the Sneaker Pimps really makes me think of my sophomore year. I don't know why. That one epitomizes sophomore. I didn't buy that album until I was out. I was no longer a junior. I had passed my junior year of high school. And then my junior year, Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger. I bought both those albums pretty much at the same time. Might have been the exact same day, which was like the last day of school. But that song to me screams junior year, which was a very weird, kind of year for me. I had a very distinct summer, sophomore to junior, but the summer between junior to senior year seemed really short, but I really didn't mind. I didn't have a problem with it. I was kind of glad to be back in high school. I was ready to be in high school, which turns out that was the worst year of my high school career, that senior year. That was the year, that was 99. That was the year that all the shootings were happening at schools, and I was the suspect, I was told, because I wasn't going to graduate. I didn't have any prospects on graduating. I was gothic, part of that gothic punk subculture that was popular in that day. Not emo. No, no, no. We're not emo. Goth. I used to wear a spike leather collar. And that was really the worst thing I ever did. And then talk my butt off about like punk rock and goth rock and all that stuff. Um, I really talked a lot of crap that really had me. I think more people should have called me on it. I know a lot more now, so you can't call me on it as much. I will argue my points with you about regarding these forms of music, but at that time, dude, I was talking snuff about the Sex Pistols and talking up the Clash. I know now how stupid it is. The Clash, sure, they're a good band. I won't take that away from them. They're nothing compared to the Sex Pistols. Even if you say, okay, the Sex Pistols, they were a prefab band. I will argue whether or not they were prefab with you. What constitutes a prefab band? But I will say that music and like any other punk rocker from England from that was like, oh, you couldn't beat that music. Those guys were great. You listen to the Clash and it's all clank, clank, clank. You listen to the Sex Pistols, it's a lot better, a lot better. But anyway, back to my senior year. Oddly enough, when I'm talking all this stuff about like goth and punk and stuff, and the song that I think of a lot is Inside Out by Eve 6. And gosh darn, those guys were good. No one could write a poppy alternative song better than those guys could. I remember when their like second or third album came out, and I read the review, and it was like Time magazine, and they're talking because I used to read Time all the time. I was trying to be an informed American. Now I'm a slacker. But the review was, this is better than most of that pop punk that you usually get from the alternative scene nowadays. These guys could actually make music and sing meaningful lyrics. which is true. And I look back at myself as a musician. I've been in a few bands. I was in a two-person outfit that I named called Stillborn Still Dead. I played guitar. My friend played bass. And then we switched. I started playing bass and he started playing guitar. And then I was the rhythm guitarist in a band called the Skanking Dead, which was a ska punk band. And I never wrote anything for them. They were a band before I joined, and it was really whoever wants to jam, they can jam. They got together on a Saturday and jammed. It was a great band. It had a horn section and everything for such a simple little outfit. Like it was so much fun to play in a band where that had a horn section. It was musical heaven. And then I was in like a band that we really should have been somewhere. We could have been something. It was called the God Structure Machine. It was a very politically charged um, punk metal band. Um, Basically, it's like Bad Religion meets Metallica was what we were kind of into. Um, we had our own religion within that. Henry Rollins was Jesus. Um, the dude, I can't even remember his name. Horton, I can't remember, from Bad Religion. He was God. And Henry Rollins was God. And this dude was like, and I feel so stupid. I almost want to start this video over. Okay, so Henry Rollins was God, represented God to us. And then Cliff Burton was the only begotten, the major rager on the four-string mofo, and one of the dudes from Bad Religion was the Holy Spirit in our band. And that's the way we played and we rocked. And it was very politically charged, which alienated the rhythm guitarist, lead singer that we had, who is still a good friend of mine. I need to get in touch with him again. And the lead guitarist, who I'd still consider a relatively good friend. I haven't talked to him in a while. But that band was so excellent. We should have gone somewhere. But it just kind of imploded. We fell apart and haven't gotten back. The drummer now lives in Texas. The rest of us still live out here. We used to get together and jam once in a while, but we haven't done that in a while. But we were so good. We had like about 3 songs that were just tight and excellent and our own. I didn't really write anything for them, but they were excellent. And then we played a whole bunch of covers. We had a set list that we would go through every rehearsal, and we were so tight. If we had just played a gig, people would have said, "You guys are good," because we were excellent. We were better than good. We were excellent. But that's not the reason why I'm talking about this video. I just wanted to say that as a musician, if I went back and tried to write a song like Harvey Danger's Flagpole Sitta, that's 3 chords. I could write a song like that, and it'd be okay. And the lyrics would probably be just as good. 6 Underground, that's trip hop. I'm a bass player. Come on. I can come up with a trip hop bass line if I really put my mind to it. Go ahead, get me a drum machine, a whole bunch of Mountain Dew. Let me plug my bass in. I'll get you some trip hop, and I'll write you some lyrics for it too. I wouldn't be able to sing them as good as that chick, but I can trip hop for you. But Eve 6, I could not write a pop song as good as those guys could, nor could I write lyrics as clever as those guys. Come on. He's mad, he's back up on the roof again. He's flipped the bird. Come on. Here's my tongue, it's cocked and loaded. Board has dubbed you special student. So cry or come along and cry And silence, we don't tolerate defiance here. Vigilante thoughts and a cheap guitar. I am my own movie star. That was a great song. Oh, and that Vigilante thoughts and cheap guitar. That's all. That's what I'm talking about, kids. All these kids wanting to be rock stars. And I just remember a phrase said by Noodles from The Offspring. He says, "Why do you want my autograph? Just grab a guitar and play this stuff for yourself." Offspring, there's a much overlooked excellent band from the 90s. Between Green Day and Offspring, that's how I got into punk rock. And, and by far, I mean, Green Day, excellent pop punk band, very poppy, very fun. Kind of tired of them now because I hear them so much on the radio. But Offspring, man, they had an edge to them that Green Day never did. You know, Green Day when Green Day was writing songs about love, which was like their first three albums, love songs. They were slowly working away from love songs. Offspring spent most of the time like, they had a song "Kill the President," "Smash is the way you deal with your life." You know, it's cool to hate. Excellent, excellent music. And unfortunately, I look at the music today and I'm trying not to sound like a cynical a hole. And there is stuff out there. I'll go and people throw stuff at me now for saying, yeah, I'll listen to that. Like I've got a kid now, so like, I have to put up with it. So you find out the stuff that you can put up with and like. And I've got some guilty pleasures too. I like Selena Gomez's first album. I like that kind of fun little power pop there. And Lemonade Mouth. That stuff isn't terrible. Um, but there really isn't much coming out that I'm going to say, that's excellent. I mean, there's Pussifer. That's relatively new, in a way. I mean, they were on Mr. Show singing about Ronnie Dobbs, but whatever. So, at any rate, yeah, music scene sucks. I'm waiting for something that really sticks out in my mind and says, hey, these guys are great. And I haven't heard it yet. But I'm still listening. I'm hoping somewhere, someone will come up with some music that's really good and kick butt again. Hopefully. And communication.